was Nick, I was Nat, I was Shaz, I was Mel. I was all of them, baby. I was all of them in my head. Well, you've been fabulous. OJ from midnight. From 10:15 you got Trevor Nelson's Rhythm Nation. From 9 you got The Country Show. Joe on the way with some great guests. Tomorrow, All Request Friday from 4. I will see you then. Can't wait.
This is Radio 2 on BBC Sounds.
And on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
BBC News at 7 o'clock. This is Justine Green. Leeds Crown Court has allowed the media to name 2 teenage cousins convicted of the murder of a 15-year-old, Kyrie McLean, in Huddersfield last September. Jakil Pouzy, who's 15, and 17-year-old Giovanni Harriott have been given life sentences. Outside the court, Detective Constable Lee Swift from West Yorkshire Police read a statement on behalf of the victim's mother, Charlie McLean.
I now ask myself, what has this achieved? What has my son died for? Nobody has won in this situation. I've lost a child and other parents have lost 2 children who committed this offence and are now in prison. This violence has to stop. Carrying weapons, especially knives, has to stop.
Water companies are facing criticism after saying that bills will have to increase to fund improvements to England's sewage system. The firms have apologised for the amount of contaminated water being released into rivers and the sea. They said they were ready to invest £10 billion to upgrade the network, but the cost would have to be passed on to customers. The UK and Norway have signed a security partnership to counter the threat of Russian attacks on energy infrastructure and communication lines at the bottom of the North and Baltic Seas. There have been reports that Moscow's ships and submarines have been mapping critically important cables and pipelines. The Defence Secretary Ben Wallace explains why the partnership's important.
Russians have a specific naval programme to both look at and potentially sabotage or attack critical national infrastructure belonging to its adversaries. That's why in July our first ship, RFA Proteus, will go to sea. A large part of the area that it will patrol will be Norway and the United Kingdom, where our gas pipelines are, where our wind farms are, where our electronic cables and optic cables are.
The RMT union says its members working for 14 train operators will strike on Friday the 2nd of June. There'll be a similar walkout the following day by train drivers who are members of the ASLEF union. Scientists say they found that obese patients cost the NHS twice as much as those of a healthy weight. The researchers tracked more than 2 million patients for at least a decade. They found that most of the extra spending was not on treating obesity itself, but illnesses linked to the condition, such as heart disease, arthritis, cancer and diabetes. The research was led by Dr. Jonathan Pearson Stuttard from the consultancy LCP.
As someone's BMI increases, as they go from overweight to obesity, the risk and the prevalence of chronic conditions such as type 2 diabetes really increases. Type 2 diabetes is one of the commonest, but as is cardiovascular disease. Then issues like osteoarthritis and mental health conditions, as well as back pain.
Figures from the Treasury show that the funeral and lying in state of Queen Elizabeth cost the government nearly £162 million. Downing Street said the arrangements had allowed hundreds of thousands of people to pay their respects. And the weather, rain affecting Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland will gradually move to the north of England and Wales overnight. BBC News, it's 7:03.
Thank you.
Joe Wiley's Shiny Happy Playlist.
There's going to be big tunes.
Blowing the roof off Radio 2.
Shiny Happy.
If you want to get absolutely bouncing,
This is where it's at. BBC Radio 2.
And thank you, of course, to the marvellous Sarah Cox. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a Thursday evening. Lots to look forward to tonight. We have some great music lined up, of course, kicking off with the Shiny Happy Playlist. Would you like a shout-out tonight? Would you like a message for someone? Do you deserve a song playing in your honour? If so, you need to text me, 88291. Don't be shy. Just get your phone out, drop me a text, 88291. If you'd rather email, you can do that as well. It's joe.wiley@bbc.co.uk. Tell me all about your tribe tonight. Are you a tribe of one? Are you one of our lone listeners? And don't forget, you're obviously part of our family as well. Or are you a gang of many people, whether it's work colleagues or your family or friends tonight? Tell me all the details, what tribe you're in this evening. So 88291, joe.wiley@bbc.co.uk.
The Shiny Happy Playlist on BBC Radio 2.